For a really long time, I struggled with thinking that my introvertedness was what made me unlikable. The fact that I was shy and awkward, had trouble making friends, seemed weird for the first time that you met me, preferred to be alone, needed to be alone in order to organize my thoughts, stumbled over my words in conversation, judged myself frequently, made fun of myself frequently, had trouble getting close to the people in my life and being vulnerable with the people in my life. I thought my introvertedness was the cause of all of these problems. And while my introvertedness tends to make these problems harder and makes me think that it's the cause, it's not really the problem. The problem was that I thought I couldn't fix any of these things. The problem was that I thought my introvertedness, my social awkwardness, and my social anxiety was stopping me from achieving the goals that I wanted and being the person that I wanted. This belief that I held so strongly was what was stopping me from getting to my end goal. And so in today's very short video, I want to talk to you guys about why we need to embrace our introvertedness. Before we get into the video, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Bridget and I am an introverted... Before we get into the video, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Bridget and I am a mindset and confidence coach for introverted women. I also have a free Facebook group, which I'm going to leave a link down below. If any of you introverted women are interested in personal development, you want to work on your mindset, have more confidence and more fulfilled relationships, I really recommend you checking out our group. Also, don't forget to like this video if you found it useful, comment below what you want to see more from me, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So let's get into the video. When I was young, I struggled tremendously with my social anxiety, and for the majority of my life, I was an introvert. I still am an introvert. When I was younger, I really wanted to be confident. I wanted to be flirty, and I wanted to be social, and I wanted to be that girl, the interesting girl, the one with a lot of friends, the one who had a lot of hobbies, and who was smart and independent. I wanted those things so badly. It's like the movie 13 Going on 30. This young 13-year-old girl wants to be 30 so bad. She wants to be 30, flirty and thriving, right? That was the saying in the movie. And one day her wish came true. She got to be 30. She woke up and was so happy that she had achieved all of these things, right? She had a great job. She had this really good looking boyfriend. She had all the friends. She was confident and social and lovable. And for the first few days that she was 30 in this new environment, she realized how much she hated it and it wasn't really what she wanted. And so now that I'm in the position where, and I got to that position where I seemed confident and social and likable and had the friends and was thriving in life, but I still felt unfulfilled. I still felt like I was missing something. And it wasn't until recently that I came to this conclusion that the reason I still felt unfulfilled was that, yes, there was a part of me still missing. I was pretending to be this person that I thought I wanted to be, that I thought the world wanted to see. I wasn't embracing the qualities that made me unique, the introverted qualities that made me unique. Some of those qualities was that, for me, alone time resets me. I prefer to be alone because in most cases, I have so many thoughts running through my mind that it's hard to sift through them when I'm in a group setting. So most of the times when people ask me for my opinion or ask me for my advice or ask if I have any questions, I will probably stay silent. I won't know what to say. Sometimes it feels like I'm not thinking at all, and sometimes it feels like all of my thoughts are getting lost. And so usually what happens is when I get out of a group setting, when I get out of a social setting, I have to take that time, be alone, and sit with those thoughts, sift through those thoughts, and figure out what it is I have to say. And so I'll follow up and say, here are my questions. I'll follow up and say, here's my advice. I'm a great texter. I'm not great on the phone, and I'm not great in actual conversation unless I'm really prepared. And I'm okay with that, right? I've accepted that that is what I'm good at. And I've allowed people into my life. I've allowed people into my life that accept that quality as well. And usually when I meet new people now, I'm pretty upfront about the fact that I'm awkward. I'm not great at conversation, right? But if you get to know me and you understand some of these things about me, you'll know how to break me out of my shell. So people who've known me for a really long time, I tend to be very chatty with. I can express myself fully with them. Another thing that I have started to embrace as an introvert is that I'm very creative. Because I am having so many thoughts going on up here, and because I take the time to maybe write some of my feelings out, there are other things that are coming up along the way. That's what happens naturally with writing. I talked about in previous videos how I am a creative person, and part of it is because I'm an introvert. I spend a lot of time alone and a lot of time just trying to figure stuff out. Another thing I've started to embrace is that I'm really good at reading people. As an introvert, and as most of you introverts who are watching this video can probably relate to, we're really good at picking up on the nonverbal communication, the facial expressions, the hand gestures, the body language, right? So I've learned to pick those things up in conversation, and I've gotten more curious about that part of me. And so I'm trying to work on learning more about how people think, how we work. And I'm really interested in psychology. So when I have conversations, especially with some of my older friends, it's really interesting to see what some of the things that come up that I say without even thinking about it. Sometimes I'm able to flow naturally in a conversation and have these thoughts come up fluidly with the more I am starting to learn about the things that I'm interested in. And I actually did videos on this last week, and I actually did a video on this earlier this week about how we can be more interesting. And one of the ways we can be more interesting is starting to learn more. So I've embraced that natural curiosity that introvertedness has allowed me to have. I've also been reading this book called Untamed by Glennon Doyle, and it was a really popular book a few years ago. But she said something today that really hit home for me, and it was one of the reasons I wanted to make this video for you guys. She was talking about her depression, her anxiety, and other mental illnesses that she's struggled with for her whole life. And that people with mental illness are expected to go to therapy. They're expected to be cured. They're expected to get better. But why is it that we push these people to get better? Why is it that we think they are the crazy ones? They need to be fixed. They are the broken ones, right? And it got me thinking, why, at an evolutionary standpoint, why would these people keep existing if we didn't need them? Biologically speaking, mistakes are how evolution happens. So if these people are considered a mistake, maybe this is how we are supposed to be evolving. Glennon also goes on and talks about how she's embraced some of these qualities, that her anxiety, that her depression has allowed her to be more creative, that her anxiety has allowed her to be a relentless activist. So she's learned to embrace some of these qualities about her. And she says that maybe the mentally ill, right, the crazies of the world are actually the real ones, and that we don't need to be fixed, that we just need to embrace. We need to heal, absolutely. We need to cope, absolutely. But at the end of the day, we don't need to be fixed. And we're not broken. We just have to learn to embrace it. And ultimately how I got to this point that I'm in now, where I'm embracing it, where I'm confident and I feel more fulfilled, but I also still feel like that part of me has stuck with me. And the reason for that is that I've learned to embrace some of these things that for a long time I thought made me broken. Before we end today's video, I just wanted to quickly announce that spots for my free consult are open. So if you're an introverted woman, you want to have more confidence, more fulfilled relationships, make sure you check out the consult. It's going to be linked in the description below. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful and useful, and I will see you next time. Bye.